I'm sure there has never been a time in your life, not one time, that you have faced challenges, diversity, adversity, not diversity, but adversity, and misfortune. I'm sure there's never been a time in your life that those things happen to you, especially since you became a leader. Because, I mean, once you're the leader, once you're in charge, everything is perfect, right? The old hunky-dory sets in, and nothing can go wrong. And you don't have to be brave or courageous about anything. You just keep charging forward, right? Maybe not. Facing adversity with both courage and hope, that is a big deal when it comes to leadership, and that's what I want to talk about today on Leading Leaders. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders podcast, and it really amazes me how many people think that, kind of like when they come to an experience of faith, when they just have that new genuine experience as a leader, as a manager, as the person in charge, that all of those problems they had before, well, they just go away, right? I mean, you like to think that when I'm the boss, it's going to be better. When I'm in charge, I'll make different decisions. When I'm in charge, all of this pressure that I see all these other leaders in, yeah, I won't have that kind of pressure because I'm going to be a different kind of leader. I'm going to make different kinds of choices, and I will not face the same kind of problems that they're facing because, well, their problems obviously are made up by them or caused by them or created by them, right? See, that's a huge fallacy when it comes to leadership, and there are a lot of people who operate in that fallacy. They genuinely believe that the problem that others face is self-inflicted and self-inflicted alone. They're not willing to accept the possibility that some of these problems that come into life come out of left field and you don't know they're coming, the misfortune. I mean, you hear the story of the bird that's trying to fly up into the tree. It's a turkey. It's in one of John Maxwell's books. Turkey's pecking at the ground and he's trying so hard to fly up into the branch of the tree and he just can't get up there. And finally the bull walks by and the bull says, "Hey, my droppings, they are filled with protein and other things. And if you'll just take on some of that protein, you'll be able to fly to the top of that tree." And so the turkey says, "Well, that's disgusting, but I'm willing to try it." So he makes his way over and he pecks at the protein droppings of the bull and he flutters his wings a little bit. He makes it about halfway up. And so he says, "Well, that's better progress than I had. I think I'll try again." And he dives in again to a little more bull droppings and he pecks his way in, and next thing you know, he's more than halfway up the tree. He's almost to the lowest branch. He said, "I am making some serious progress. This protein pack you've given me it's incredible." And so he dives in again, and finally he makes his way all the way to the top of the tree, and he struts around on that one branch looking at the world as if to say, "I'm the leader, I'm the manager, I'm the boss, I've made it, look at me, I've arrived." And just as that thought meanders through his head, bang, out of nowhere comes a gunshot and the turkey falls to his Thanksgiving dinner death. What's the moral of the story? Well, the moral of the story is pretty simple, and we hear it and see it all the time, especially in those ascending to leadership. BS might get you to the top, but BS ain't going to keep you at the top. There are a whole lot of people that flutter their way to the top. They make their way through the system. A little bit of lie, a little bit of deceit, a little bit of, "That's not my problem. I won't fail like that. I know better than that person. I'm smarter than they are. I'll be a better leader than them. I'll make better decisions than them." And yet, when the time comes, when adversity, when misfortune, when you think the best thing that could have happened is you made it to the top of the tree, but really, that's where the hunter was able to see you. Staying on the ground may not have put you in a place of being targeted. And so it is with leadership. There are things that you're facing today in whatever role you're in that you're thinking, once I'm elevated beyond this role, those problems will go away. No, they probably won't. You'll have a different set of problems, perhaps. Maybe the problems won't be the same magnitude to you because things look smaller from the top of the tree than they do when they're in your face. But the problems don't go away. And guaranteed, when you get to the top of the tree, there are more problems than there are anywhere else because you have higher visibility. Now, the real question, though, is how will you deal with this reality that misfortune will follow you to the top of the tree. In fact, misfortune that you didn't know was coming, it's waiting for you when you get to the visibility of the top of the tree. How will you handle those things then? See, it's real easy when adversity comes against you, the misfortune, the lack of good luck. When it seems to all run out, when the bad things come at you, it's real easy to get depressed, to crawl up in your hole and die, to get really silent and say nothing and not lead the people around you anymore because, well, you don't want to be the target anymore. Maybe you found yourself like many people. Vivek Ramaswamy in his book Woke talks about how he was the billionaire leader of his own company. But when a major shift took place in political worldviews, when the light started shining in different places in his organization, his own ideologies were no longer accepted in the company that he created. He actually had an internal rebellion or mutiny. His own people turned against him and asked him to resign because they didn't believe like he believed. Well, he founded the company. Who cares if they believe, right? You're the leader. You should be able to just do what you want to, right? No, it doesn't quite work like that. But what he did do was he faced that confrontation, that adversity with courage. The courage to say, maybe I am wrong. Maybe I just need to press through this, but maybe transformation in me or change in me is how I press through. He also faced it with hope. He faced it with hope. Rather than looking at the circumstances and saying, this will never get any better, I'm just going to burn the whole thing down, I'm going to shut down the company and leave if I can't have it my way. No, that wasn't the approach that he took. Instead, the approach that he took said, I'm going to find a way to fix this, and if fixing that means removing the obstacle and I'm the obstacle, I will step aside and let someone else lead in this new way, in this new direction. I don't want the company to go away. I don't want the jobs to go away. I don't want the revenue to go away. I'm not trying to destroy anybody's future, but I'm willing to sacrifice my own in this position. How many of you as leaders are courageous enough to say, I'm willing to sacrifice even my dream job, even my dream opportunity. I'm willing to take that greatest desire of my life and set it aside for a moment while I face this adversity. Or maybe I'm willing to set this job aside because my presence is what's causing adversity to other people. That takes a serious set of big boy pants, if you will, to be able to say, I may be the problem that all of you are facing. Now, there's been more than one occasion, if you believe in biblical history at all. Both Jonah and Paul had that same revelation when they were on a ship and the ship was being beat about by the sea. And one of them said, look, if you simply throw me overboard, trust me, I know I'm the one that did wrong. I'm the one that's causing this problem. If I wasn't on your boat, there wouldn't be a storm. I am the cause of the storm. And so they threw him over the sea and a fish ate him. When he left the boat was all good. It was the presence of Jonah that caused the problem. Jonah was the adversity that the shipmates were facing. And then there's Paul. Paul said, there's a lot of obstacle coming against us, but this thing that I'm supposed to be doing, I am so certain I'm supposed to be doing it, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. If you'll stick with me through this adversity, not one of you will be lost. Everyone will survive. Oh, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get real ugly. But stick with me. Stay with me in this fight, and it's going to pay off for you. There will be a return on investment at the end of this road if you hang on. They both fought with courage, and they both fought with the hope of knowing there's something beyond the adversity. There's something beyond what we're facing right now that will be worth it in the end. Well, sure enough, Paul's ship was absolutely dashed against the rocks, nothing but splinters left. And as they floated ashore, they found a campfire. They thought they were going to end up all dead, but instead, well, you'll have to go read the history yourself. Here's the reality, though. Every leader at every level is going to face adversity. And every leader with the courage to ask the question, is there a chance that I'm the cause of the adversity? That I'm the reason we're in so much trouble? That I'm the cause of all of the pressure and the outside misfortune? If I'm the reason for it, what can I do to change it? Is it changing me? Or is it putting somebody else in this role for the time being until it's fixed? If you're not courageous enough as a leader and holding on strong enough to hope for your team to say, we're going to get through this and we're going to get better, even if that means there has to be a different me in this spot. If you're not courageous enough to do that, then it's time to take a big step back in your own self-awareness and ask the question, what could I do better? What could I do differently? And how could I make this situation better? If removing me from the equation makes it better for everybody else, am I willing to take the step to do that? Yeah, every leader at every level is going to face adversity. The question is, how will you face it? Will it be with courage and hope, or will it be with despair and depression? That is a choice that you're going to have to make as a leader. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.